This is Matt with the Hum and Tug Humvee that just got back from the 2025 off-road games. When I got home, I thought this is really a unique adventure for me. I am not a YouTuber. I just started this channel a few months ago. I think my invite might have even been accidental. I thought I needed to tell the story. So I'm gonna do the best I can to keep the story brief, but I wanna tell you what my experience was like and what these people seem like behind the scenes. I know there's always haters out there, and maybe I can dispel some of that because overall I had a great experience. I think these are great people, but it's definitely there's an insider deal going on. Like they all know each other, and I want to tell the story from my perspective because I'm not here to try and make money. I got a job. I'm not looking for subscribers. I don't care about that. Like don't subscribe, don't click. I really don't care. I'm just here to have fun. So I want to tell the story and do the best I can to just do justice for what these folks are trying to do. So the story begins a few months ago. Typical for me to wake up in the middle of the night, just can't sleep, and so I'll get on YouTube and my channel. You can see the stuff that attracts me. I love watching like Casey Liddell and Matt and Rory, and I just it leads you into Cletus, and I'm into a lot of the same things. I like jet boats and off-road stuff and whatever. So these guys are all just they fall right into place with what I like to do. And I've had a bunch of Humvees that I bought with the intention of flipping them to make some money, and nobody in California is buying anything. So I just decided, what if I was able to throw a boom on one of these trucks, get to the off-road games, just try and meet some of these people. Maybe I get into the games in 2026. So I see the link on Matt's webpage to be able to apply to bring your wrecker, and I sent an application, and I didn't get a response. I didn't see anything in my email inbox, and then one day I noticed I missed a Zoom meeting invite, and so I did get a response, but I had missed it, and so I responded back. And Matt hires a guy to do all this stuff. I think Matt's not into putting together the event and whatnot. So you hire that out, and he's got this guy, Justin, that does all the coordinating, communication, and whatnot. And so Justin hits me back, and he basically gets me in the loop, and I think it's a mistake, but it turns out it's not. I had put an application in. They basically invited me. I sent in a couple videos, and at this point, I had already started the build, but I didn't even know if I was going to get it finished in time, and I didn't have it far enough along that it was even going to be something that they would say, yeah, bring that. It's great. It was just, they just kind of let me play along as if I had a functional ready rig. And so I had to turn up the speed on my fab. And I've got some videos that document the building of the truck. I started the YouTube channel it was really the day I bought the wrecker boom. And so it's all documented on my channel. I think I got like 6 build videos. And that's where I started. So it's worth talking a little bit about the boom I bought. I found this in Sacramento on Marketplace, went to look at it, and the guy had not disclosed that it was damaged. So he ran a wrecker outfit, and they had basically destroyed this thing recovering a school bus, broke the base apart, pulling the bus basically 90 degrees to the boom. So it was ripped and torn, and he didn't really want to come down on the price. I got him down a little bit, and it wasn't a bad deal at the end of the day. I just had to cut this thing apart, stretch it back straight, weld it. It's not perfect. It's an old piece of junk boom, but it works. Here's a snapshot of my YouTube analytics right before the off-road games. I also built this channel to put some videos out on Humvee how-to, what to look for when you're buying them, the common issues, getting them started, stuff like that. It just all started about the same time that I started this wrecker build, but based on my analytics there, I'm obviously not a quote-unquote YouTuber. This is purely for fun, and I'm quite novice. So I'm probably going to change the name, not really married to what I put together here, and so if I do start to grow this, I probably have to go a different direction. All right, so I finally get the build put together. I still got some loose ends, electrical things, but I'm ready to load it on the truck and head out to Hurricane. I rented a house, plan to spend the whole week out there, try and mix a little vacation, get some mountain biking in, go hike Zion, stuff like that. So we saddle up, get out there and spend a few days running the trail, learning the terrain, and just having a nice time. So now I can get into the meat and potatoes of how this event went for me. All right, so it's Wednesday before the off-road games, and Matt has all the participants that are in town come to his shop, basically do a pre-event driver's meeting. And I roll in, drive my rig right into the front yard, and walk over to Matt and say, "Hey, is it okay if I park here?" And he looks at me and he's like, "Sure, but who the heck are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm here to compete. I got a record." And he said, "Yeah, but who are you?" And man, I felt about 2 inches tall. And so I explained to him that Justin had invited me and I built this record for the competition. And he said, "Well, let's go take a look at it." And it was a clear sign that Matt is not heavily involved in the preparation and the coordination. He really just likes the meat and potatoes of the building and the driving and the problem solving of off-road recovery. So he warmed up real quick and spent some time talking to us and made us feel at home. And we did talk to some other folks in the group, but I felt really intimidated because these are, kind of the big stars of the off-road arena, and I didn't know how I fit into this. So it was kind of an awkward Wednesday night for me, but everybody was pretty kind. We got the details of what was going to happen in the next few days, and and then that was it. We kind of concluded, went home, and got a good night rest. And sorry, I didn't film anything from that Wednesday night. Just didn't feel appropriate. But it was basically nothing to see anyway. It was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, talking. All right, so I can touch a little bit on my experience meeting some of these people. Rory was the first person I competed with, and Rory just seems a little standoffish. He actually didn't talk to me until after we raced, and he came over and said, "Nice race," and shook my hand and stuff. And I felt like, okay, after that, I'd broken the ice with Rory. I was walking around introducing myself to folks. I went over to Chad's Fab. He was in his truck, and I just introduced myself, and he's told me a little bit something about his truck, and he's like, "You want to see the engine?" It's like his eyes lit up. He was so excited to show me the engine. So, a lot of these people they are true automotive enthusiasts, and they're here to have fun. And so that's when I started feeling a little bit more comfortable about just going around and introducing myself. Now, the Matt's off-road staff, they're all extremely busy trying to help coordinate, and I could tell we're just preoccupied with a lot of stuff, so I tried not to bother them. But I did talk to Rudy, and he was pretty nice, and Colin and Rhett, and Matt obviously is just like, his mind is going a million miles an hour, so I just stayed out of that dude's way. But when he did talk to us, anybody that would come to him or even yell his name, he would stop and wave. And so he really does. I think all these people appreciate the fans. So that's what keeps them going. They're not, they haven't lost sense of what they're there for. And that part I do like. So one of my favorite characters out of this crew is Rick Murphy. I've watched his channel for a while. I think he's up and coming. I think his viewership's going to grow because once you get to know a little bit about that dude, he's a pretty cool guy. He's a little bit funny. Got to figure him out. He comes across as kind of a tough guy, but once you start talking to him, I think he's a real nice guy. And if you see some of the stuff he does online, he's a pretty generous dude. He runs a business. His crew seems to work hard, so it looks like he's truly a guy that came from some hard-working roots. And once you start talking to him, he's just super nice. So I enjoyed Rick, meeting the guy behind the scenes, and he seems like a good dude. The other person that I've been hanging out with a little bit was Brian from Viking Motors. We met down at King of the Hammers. Again, pretty nice guy. Really open to just hanging out and having some fun. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this, is just to get involved with some of these people and open up some doors and really just be able to meet people we can go wheeling with. And that's what I love about the off-road sport, is just the camaraderie. And it's been a good experience. Okay, I also wanted to give a shout out to Matt's wife, Jamie. So we got to talk to Jamie a few times, and she is just super cool, just very chill. She's watching the madness kind of circulate around her, and she's just a very grounded person. And so at the end of, I guess, end of day 2, we go up to get a soft serve, and Jamie's in the soft serve booth serving ice cream. We're like, "What the hell are you doing in here?" She's like, "Well, my friend was tired of serving, so I just took over for her." And it was like, I guess it's one of Matt's favorite little treats. So they're good friends with these people that do the soft serve in town. And Jamie just stepped in to help her friend out. So that's the kind of people these folks are. So good to know that they're just like you and I, just out there, found a little niche to have fun, getting paid, doing what they enjoy. So give them a break, give them support, give them a thumbs up. That's kind of what I'm walking away from this event understanding, is that these are just regular old people. They might be movie stars on YouTube, and they've done some pretty cool stuff. They're good at what they do. And I hope I get to hang out with them again, because I had a good time doing it. But I'm not ready to quit my day job, so I'm going to keep on working and tinkering on the side, and hopefully I get invited back. So thanks for hanging out this long. I'm sorry, I'm a rambler. Okay, one last thing. I got to provide the driver's perspective. So we went into the event being told on a daily basis, generically, what we're doing. Day one, we were in the arena, not running the trail. Day two, we were running the trail, not in the arena. Day three was just going to be a quick, everybody shows off a little bit. When it came down to actually what to do and when, really nobody knew. Every time I rolled up, I'd ask somebody, and nobody knew anything, from really even Matt's staff to all the drivers. I thought I was out of the loop, but the more you talk to people, you realized everybody's clueless. And so really you just kind of hang around, you wait for people to yell at you. Sometimes they come by and say, okay, everybody get down to the pit area, or get in your rig, we're going on the trail, or, hey, it's your turn to go, get out there, you're racing this guy. And that's kind of how it went. In some cases, even I saw guys just get in their trucks and go out there like there was nothing in the arena, so they just went out there and started doing donuts. So it was a little bit of a free-for-all, but at the end, all that really mattered is people were being entertained, and that seemed to be happening. So loosey-goosey, but I think it works. I kind of liked it. You just had to stick by your rig and kind of keep your ears open, and hope you didn't miss your calling. So from that perspective, it was pretty wild. Just a lot of unplanned chaos, but seems to work. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you out on the trail soon. Take care.